I'm Carol Owens, and this is Stockbridge Updates. You know, on Saturday, July 4th, this Saturday, we're going to celebrate our 250th birthday. And it's interesting that they picked July 4th to celebrate. They could have picked April 19th, 1775. Because April 19th, 1775 was the shot heard round the world, fired on the Concord Bridge that started the Revolutionary War, rightfully called the War of Independence. But they didn't pick to celebrate the start of a war. They picked to celebrate the words that founded a new nation. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Can't be argued with. Prima facie, self-evident that all men are created equal and endowed with inalienable rights, those rights that cannot be compromised or obliterated. That's what we're celebrating. Words, not guns. And it's interesting. You may think to yourself when I introduce my guests, what in the heck did she pick to have two public TV folks on just before the birthday of our founding? Well, there's a really good reason. Because words, the ability to speak them in public, the mandate to share information, and for government to be open, more than open, transparent, words and an idea. That's the foundation of our country. So, happy birthday, America, and with great pleasure, I introduce the Executive Director and the Marketing Manager of CTSB TV. Welcome.
Thank you, Carol. Good morning.
Rich, you're so important, an important part of our democracy, a thing that you would never find in an autocracy. This is the voice of democracy. What's happening to it these days? Because as the way we get our information and our programming changes, it's having a direct effect on you.
Right. And I just want to start out by saying, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, those are things that are very important to both of us and many people. And I've spent my entire lifetime as a cameraman, mostly for CNN, practicing freedom of speech and freedom of the press. So very fitting for the 4th of July celebration.
Oh, thank you.
But yes, we are under attack. You see the defunding public radio and certain laws affecting broadcasting, all over the country. But we are hyper local. We're community programming, and our challenge that have found the past few years is that as people move to the internet only to get their news and information, community TV is on cable. So we're slowly being kind of lost and almost kind of defunded. We're hanging on to those last cable subscribers.
Now, as I understand it, take a Spectrum, for example, would have so many subscribers, and Spectrum was a provider of cable TV, and a percentage of that which was paid by subscribers to Spectrum would go to you.
Yes, we have historically and currently received 5% of cable subscriptions. And the reason for that is because the telephone pole in your front yard and the wires running through your front yard are making these companies billions of dollars a year. Those poles and wires do not belong to Spectrum. They belong to the town. So as kind of a give back of, hey, we're putting a pole and a wire in your yard, we're going to give you a community, a place where the community can come and communicate clearly and share ideas and thoughts. And so that's why we've had community television for so long. So as we move to the internet, those fees are going to go away. So how will we survive?
Well, how will Spectrum survive, by the way?
They're shifting their cable subscriptions to internet subscriptions. So as just like you receive your cable box and you flip the dial, you can get a cable subscription through the internet. Same wire, no community television fee. It's coming through the internet. Same wire, same device. It's just a digital form of flipping through your channels.
And let me ask you this. And then we're going to move on to Sara and to your programming and hear about the fun stuff. But just to close this out, isn't it the case that Spectrum is losing business because there's also streaming and many ways to get, is that also going on?
There's a lot of competition. I think cable has survived a lot on sports. People want to subscribe and see live sports, and now we see places like ESPN moving to their own streaming app and things like that. So
yeah, in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. So things are shifting quickly, and there is legislation pending in Massachusetts to tax the Netflix, Disney, Hulu companies who are making billions on your front yard, tax them a 5% fee to pay for the public access stations in the state of Massachusetts.
So you'll have more supporters.
We will, if this passes. Currently it's in the Senate Ways and Means Committee where it's pending, and each year, for the past 5 years, it's either failed or been held up. So we're fingers crossed something happens positively this year.
Now, folks, are you listening to this? You should support this legislation. Very good indeed. All right, let's move to programming, and I'm going to save you for a second, and let's introduce Sara. Okay. And Sara, you have great good news, a surprise.
So in like 6 days and counting, we have a new community radio station, WGSL. It'll be 107.3 FM. So it's an LP low power. That means there's 100 kilowatts, which is a 5-mile radius. But we'll be streaming online, which is the goal, because a lot of people who live here part-time still want to see and hear what's going on. So we'll have that streaming too.
Okay. So I'm going to go online and try to find you.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
So WGSLradio.org. And then we've partnered with so many different little organizations to help get us online to a little player. It's really cool. You pretty much press listen and a player pops up. And you can listen, on desktop or mobile or anything like that. But community radio primarily has been around since the 70s and in San Francisco and Berkeley areas where it first started. And a lot of it's been brought up through volunteers. And most community radio stations just have, it's just run by volunteers. Now this is a different thing because the FCC opened up their window for LPFM licensing 2 years ago. They do this every 10 years. And we jumped on the opportunity. So now we're building it in 2026 as opposed to building it in 1986. So we're programming the whole thing, but ready to get the community involved. So we've built it, and we're hoping everyone will come. And
so let's assume everybody comes.
Okay.
Okay. We're all here for you, Sara. What are you offering us? What are we going to hear?
At the moment, we have such a rich musical history in the southern Berkshires. I mean, all of the Berkshires especially, but we've got Tanglewood, Lennox School of Jazz, which we've talked about before, the Music Inn. There is a rich history. So at the moment, we're really playing a lot of music for classical, like for, BSO, Yo-Yo Ma, all the things that relate to the Berkshires, and then jazz. A lot of the musicians that played at the Lennox School of Jazz, and we're bringing, so right now the content is that, including some really wonderful programming from other community radio stations. And we're just waiting for our community to come and do maybe their hour or their half hour. We want to get the theaters are excited and interested to be involved. Tanglewood Learning Institute in the off season are interested. So we've got a lot of different people from this community.
So it's real programming.
Yeah, it's real.
It's not, and you're not going to have a news hour or a news half hour.
We'd love to have something local. Now, we carry Democracy Now! On CTSB. We could always carry that with WGSL, but we're going to have a programming committee, and that committee is going to have a good, finger on the pulse of our community and what they want to hear. So we're not really sure yet. It's what everyone brings to us, and we'll see. But yes, we want to do something local, especially local news and weather. Things that people need.
Okay, well, I'm interested in local news. We'll talk.
Yes. We will love, yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, Rich, tell us about the TV programming, because I've noticed that it's gotten richer and more varied. There's so much more.
Yeah, much like the radio station, it's really for everybody. This community radio station and TV station, CTSB, it belongs to our community. It's like your library. What a treasure to come here and document the times we're living in now and to talk about great things in your community. But I would say in the past 2 to 3 years, we started bringing in artists and authors and musicians. Sherry Steiner, one of our board members, has been instrumental in bringing these creatives here, solo creatives. And we have just seen a wealth of musicians and storytellers, and it's been amazing. I think we're well over 200 at this point. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating, and
let's start with something that I'm very interested in, and that is, so if you take your programming and you divide it up, and it's divided between education, government, and entertainment. So let's start with government, because I like that. And I'm so thrilled that you put up the meetings. Yeah, the meetings from the towns, and they're interesting. And although I'm from Stockbridge, as I guess everybody knows, the other day I watched the finance committee from Great Barrington, and I learned a couple of things that was really, really interesting. Yeah. So now I think I read, but you're going to correct me, that Governor Healy made Zooming the meetings mandatory. What am I trying to remember?
During the COVID pandemic, it was kind of a temporary, that you could attend or couldn't attend, or if it was hybrid, and they've kind of extended a deadline, and everyone thought like, okay, maybe we won't have Zoom anymore, and we'll just go back to meeting in person. But everyone has found it so convenient and such a better way to connect that I believe at some point the governor will just make it like a hybrid situation. You're free to attend in person, or you can tune in at home. And in our contract, legally we really only have to cover like town select boards and school committees.
Oh, but you do so much more.
Over the years, we said we have 3 channels to fill 24 hours a day. So our philosophy is send us all your meetings, send us everything that you would like for us to broadcast, to give to our community. So
I think that's absolutely wonderful, and it's not age related. In the beginning, I would hear people say, "Well, it's really good for old folks who can't drive at night, or I don't know, have a walker or something." But young people work. And they can't watch a 3 o'clock meeting because they're busy.
Yeah.
And our second homeowners, which is a growing population, spends, 2/3 or a half of the year away, but that doesn't mean they lose interest. And they tune in. It's wonderful for everybody.
You should look at our calendar for, is it April? It's May. May is town meeting central, and it's we're packed. All of our volunteer and freelancers are out, videography, taping, it's just meeting after meeting, and then it's graduation. We're there for everything. It's good. Yeah.
So let's move to education. One of the things I find so wonderful are the plays. Yeah. So you do all the high school plays, and somehow Shakespeare gets mixed in there.
We do as many plays as we can. Many of them can be, copywritten and things like that. But we do a lot with our schools. Fall Festival of Shakespeare, 37 years now. We've been covering that, and this year we used to sell DVDs, but now we've released them all on our website, so you can stream for free.
Like 25 years.
25 years, and the rest we're still pulling from VHS tapes and such. But now you have access to all those years, and that means a lot to those students. And that's a really special event.
And to their parents and grandparents.
Exactly.
And to their parents. And in the school committee meetings, it is tough to get out at night. Or if you have children and you have to make dinner and to get in your car and drive to the school, you can access it on your tablet or your phone anytime. And it's I sit through many of these meetings because I record many of them, and what a great way to know what's going on in your school and what's going on with your children and the great things that are happening in the schools.
It's something so funny that was said about Stockbridge updates, because I report from every meeting in the town of Stockbridge, and I say who's speaking and who the chairman is and who came before the meeting to introduce whatever. And they said, it's the most interesting thing. It's better than afternoon soaps.
Yeah.
It's just your commentary.
You get to know all these people and what their issues are.
Yeah, well, it's like chess pieces.
It's really like chess pieces. Yeah, it's really fun. This is real people doing something real and significant. And I also find under the education, or I'd place it under education, that sometimes you've had these round tables, and I think they're done right here in this room, probably at this table, and they discuss an important issue, municipal budgeting, many things that folks are worried about, housing clearly, and so forth. So that's under education. Then under entertainment, I don't know, from kind of looking it over, I think you lean toward music, and I think you were mentioning that for the radio, that you're going to lean into the...
Well, so it's, just to clarify, so it's we're a PEG station, PEG, public, not entertainment, education and government. So under public could be anything,
Right.
We've done, we've worked with the Berkshire Edge to do big roundtables about housing and insecurity and those, but, and then public, outdoor concerts and all that good stuff in the summertime. But then we have people lately, even the Waldorf High School has come in to do things, just like podcasting, but like video podcasting. What else have we done?
We work with the CIP kids, which is the college internship program here in Lee. These are kids with autism and ADHD, and they come in and they present shows that they like to work on. And I have a son with autism, and I created my own, not created my own, I'm working with a group out of Great Barrington called Families Like Ours, or FLOW. We talk about our children with autism. And I think it's something anyone in our community can come in here and do. Whether you want to talk about gardening or whatever it is, come in and have your own roundtable.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing to get across to all of the folks watching this, is that You've got an idea? Come on in.
Yeah.
And I think when you say this is our station, our community station, you're open to that.
There are community stations all over the country. Massachusetts, I forget how many we
Over
have. but
250.
We have, 250. We have the most of any state. But like New York City and is BronxNet, their community, that's a community television station, but their facilities are incredible. And what they do with their community is different than what we do with every community is very different. So whatever the needs are, change. But yeah,
Well, not just the needs, but the ways in which they express themselves.
100%. Yes.
And you honestly get a feeling for the community.
Yeah.
When you watch community television.
It's the only thing that's hyper-local.
Yeah.
Everything else is run by huge corporations.
Well, I'm all for hyper-local. I've been doing Stockbridge updates for my sins for 7 years because I do truly believe in hyper-local.
Yeah.
I believe this is where we can make the biggest impact.
Yeah.
You may never meet your senator, your United States senator, your United States congressman, or your governor. But you know what? Your select board member lives next door.
Yeah, yeah.
And your police chief lives down the street. And hopefully you've made an effort in your community to employ community people. So we're rubbing shoulders. We're accessible to one another. We can share ideas and get our opinion at least looked at, if not agreed with.
And it is like a library, and you can come in and do like literally whatever. We have you can do whatever you want. It's an unusual business model, but it works.
It's
yeah.
accessible to all.
Yes.
And so if you come in here and you're intimidated by all the buttons and the cameras, the staff can take care of that.
Yeah.
If you want to learn, we can train you to do all that fun stuff. But if you just want to come in and tell a story, have a conversation, and walk out the front door, you're welcome to do that. And I got to tell you, in the past few years, every time people walk out the front door, they've had a great time, they've had a great conversation, and they feel more positive. So I encourage people to come in and check out our building and talk to us.
Yeah. I mean, self-expression is mandatory to our form of government, but I mean, most people know I'm a retired doctor, and my specialty was psychology, and I don't think anything is more closely related to your mental health than self-expression.
Yeah.
So, not only is this great governmentally, and it's one of our rights, but it's also something to do for good health and so forth. So, bravo to you guys.
I will say some towns do not record their meetings because they don't have cable, for example. When a town, there are towns around here that do not have cable, so they do not have, or they don't think they have access to public access community TV. But that's not the case here. If you want to grab a camera and shoot your select board meeting, we can run it. But there's some transparency that is not happening with certain towns because they don't really know or utilize, or we're not contracted to do it. But anyone can do it. It's an important thing to know.
In Berkshire County?
Oh yeah. Well, for example, I live in Hinsdale. We don't have cable in Hinsdale. We don't have
Hinsdale's in New York.
That's Hillsdale. Hinsdale is near Dalton. Dalton has a community television station. Hinsdale does not, and Washington does not,
right, yeah.
and Beckett does not.
Wait a minute. So if I live in, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Welcome to the 21st century. If I live in Hinsdale or Beckett, I have no cable on my TV?
You have, what do they have?
Some towns have fiber now.
Fiber?
So it doesn't carry any local content, or their satellite.
Yeah, but they don't have cable. They can go online, I'm sure, and go to YouTube and see the local things. But no, for example, town meetings in Hinsdale are not recorded.
Wow.
Because, but Dalton...
So you only have the option of going to town meeting in person.
Correct.
But
you could have somebody
you
to
can
do
watch it on TV. No.
No, only if someone's
No.
shooting it.
Well, yes, but I mean, is
Yeah.
CTSB TV on cable, or is the station a
No.
traditional station?
No, we are on cable
You are.
in the 5 towns.
Wow.
So if you go to 1301, 1302, 1303 in the 5 towns, you'll see you. But if you go to 1301 in Pittsfield, you see.
Well, you would get Pittsfield community
well,
TV.
of course.
Yeah.
And we
Okay,
used to.
stop.
And we're online
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Stop, everyone.
Okay.
Stop. Now. There's only 1 minute left. And we are not going to end this in the weeds.
No.
About what connects to what. The hip bone's connected to the knee bone. All right. So, 1 minute, kiddo. Give me a closing statement on CTSB and the wonderfulness of it all, and leave 30 seconds for Sara.
Reach out to your local government legislators. Tell them that you want to support community TV through legislation.
Yes. Sara.
It's a very accessible medium. It really is. You can come in and record here or play things from me. It's time to play. It's time to get your voice heard, and there's so many cool things to say. But ultimately, we really want.
No, but I think you stated the important one, folks. This is your station. Get involved with it. I've had Stockbridge updates on air for 2 years, maybe longer. It's been fun. It's been informative. And the first thing I ever did, TSB TV, was that something about solo creative. And I told you about everything I ever wrote. So if you ever need to know that, I once was walking through the grounds of Tanglewood to try to find a bathroom where there was no line. A big challenge in life. And I tripped over a man and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My name is Carol Owens. Let me apologize to you." And he jumped up and said, "I wrote my master's thesis about you."
Oh my God.
Right. And the Berkshire Cottages. So, solo creative.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you, Carol.
For the job you do.